Hi everyone, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and for unboxings.com. In here I have the iiView VPad, which is actually a tablet PC running Windows 7. So we're going to just take a quick look at what's inside, what's included, and a quick tour around the actual unit itself. So first of all, the tablet comes packed in this rather unusual sort of blister pack or bubble packing, which I've seen on toner cartridges before, but never actually seen a PC pack that way. And it's pretty tight inside there, so let's pull that out, move that to one side. So the tablet itself comes in this leather case, but we're going to look at that in a bit more detail in just a second. Just want to take a look at what else is in the pack. So there's a white inner box, it's a bit damaged in transit unfortunately, but hey, it's just the inside. We have a mains charger, so it takes a 3-pin style cable and it has a bullet style connector for charging up your tablet. Put that to one side. And also in the box we have a UK 3-pin plug, obviously plugs into the charger. And that's about all. So we have a user guide with a CD-ROM, which is actually a CDR. That's kind of strange. And as I say, the user guide there, which is quite thin. Doesn't seem to be a lot of substance to it. And then a recovery DVD. So that's what we get in the box. Take a look around the unit itself. As I say, it comes in this rather interesting, nice sort of leather case, which actually velcros closed. And once you open the case, there's actually cutouts in the case itself for the loudspeaker or microphone and the little digital camera, the front-facing little camera. So let's take it out of there so we can see it a little bit more detail anyway. Let's have a look at the ports and bits and pieces. It's quite a snug fit. It's not going to fall out in a hurry. So let's move that to one side. So on the front we have a 10.2-inch display, which is 1024 by 600 pixels, which is kind of the standard really in terms of resolution for sort of netbooks. So it's wide enough for most web pages. As I say, we have a forward-facing VGA camera for sort of video conferencing on a mic, and a microphone there next to that. It does obviously say there that we are a 3G tablet. We'll come to that in a second. It is fully touchscreen though. On the side we have a memory card slot which supports, well, it looks like it supports SD, MMC, MS and MS Pro. Then 2 USB connectors supporting USB 2.0. That's really all on that side. Nothing really to see on the bottom. There is a space here for a stylus, but sadly the stylus seems to be broken and kind of stuck inside, but well, the stylus is in there. This is where we plug in the charger for obviously charging it up. Then we have another USB connector. There's a grill here or vent, so that's obviously for cooling the internal components. And then we have a standard 15-pin D-sub VGA connector for plugging into an external monitor, an Ethernet connector, RJ45 style, and then a headphone socket and a microphone socket. They're both 3.5mm jacks, so you can use standard equipment there. On the top we have a power switch, that just slides across, it's spring loaded. And then we have 3 indicator LEDs, one indicating your wireless connection, one the battery status, and one hard drive activity. So that's pretty straightforward. On the back we have battery. It's not the biggest of batteries. It's claims to be 3000 mAh. It's not huge in comparison to the actual unit itself. Often you find that the battery is sort of around half of the back, but it's quite small, not ever so heavy either. We also can put a SIM card in here, the eSIM SIM card, so that we can actually use it for 3G, so we can connect to the internet without having to use Wi-Fi. Really good for if you're mobile. And as the label says, it's Windows 7 Starter Edition. We just power up, and hopefully we can power on. and wait for that to just start up. While it's starting up, let me run down the rest of the specifications. You see it's just starting there. It is that Intel Atom processor running at 1.6 GHz. We've got a 320 gig hard drive, which is pretty impressive for the type of device that we're looking at. So it's quite a lot of storage really. 2 gig of RAM isn't bad. Coupled with Windows 7, 2 gig is okay. Built-in Wi-Fi supporting 802.11b and G standards, and also built-in Bluetooth 2.0. Pretty decent. As I say, that is a 10.2 inch display, 1024 by 600 pixels, fully touchscreen, which is pretty decent. 64 meg of video RAM as well. And we also do have an Intel 945 graphics chip. That's just starting up. And the display isn't bad. It's certainly not the brightest. I'm obviously shooting my video under pretty strong lights, as you can see there, so we can see it quite well. But even in that bright lighting, it's not terrible. In daylight, well, I suspect it might be a little bit more difficult, because if you angle the display, as you can see there, is quite reflective. But you'll probably be okay indoors or in indirect light, probably. As I say, fully touchscreen. Let's just run down a couple of quick things, because it is a pretty standard looking implementation of Windows 7, to be honest with you. We have a control panel at the side, which we can just jump into, which does take us into pretty much the standard Windows control panel. This isn't specific to the device. Music and picture widget over the top, Windows Media Center. We have a radio function there, online radio. Obviously the widgets down the side, which are pretty straightforward. Obviously the clock in the corner, and also down here. These controls here also, so that we can actually use it for shutting down and restarting and bits and pieces like that. We have an iiView help, and we have obviously a VPad here, and my computer, network, and so on. So as I say, this is iiView VPad, available from our friends over at Super eTrader. I suppose we're going to see an awful lot more of these sort of tablet style PCs over the coming months, as Apple have released obviously their iPad, and obviously you can get comparison here in terms of size with the iPad being a little bit taller, and the VPad being that bit wider. The iPad is a lot slimmer though than the VPad, as you can probably make out in that shot there. The VPad is quite a bit heavier than the iPad, and the display on the iPad, I would say, is significantly brighter and quite a bit easier to see. Whether or not there is a setting here on the VPad in order to actually increase the backlight brightness, I certainly would hope so, because that isn't particularly bright, just as the default condition there. So I'd like to see that a little bit brighter if that's possible. So we'll look at that when we look at a full review as well. So we'll have some more photos and video of the VPad soon, and we'll do a full review for you over the next couple of weeks when we've had a chance to really sort of test it out in day-to-day use, see what it's like in terms of battery life and all those sorts of things. Failing that, if you have any questions, please ask them over on our forum over on tracyandmatt.co.uk, or if you care to ask us any questions via Twitter, you can do so. On Twitter we are Tracy and Matt, and I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews over on tracyandmatt.co.uk.